I don't know. I think one of the nicer, quiet little features in puzzle games, but I think it shows up elsewhere, is just the skip level button. Um,
No, I
I
get way
think
too completionist about it.
no, but listen, you are not the target audience for that.
Yeah, no, I
Just
play
straight
when
up.
I was playing Angry Birds. I refused to move on to the next level until I got 3 stars on the one I was on. That's
Yeah.
that's the kind of person I am.
There's lots of interesting discussion about like difficulty in games. I don't agree with this. I think it's a very interesting sentiment. Um, I have heard a phrase which is every game over is a failure of the game developer.
Huh. I don't fully agree with that because I think game overs can be programmed into games. Like, I think it'd be better to say every player. Even I don't necessarily agree with this, but I think a more reasonable way to put it is every time a player quits, that's a failure of the game developer.
Yeah, and that I will
Because like
happily
there
accept.
there are lots of games, especially like Dark Souls esque, but just bullet hells in general. Like fucking Geometry Dash even. Did the link get censored? Not showing on the overlay? Yeah, the overlay is top chat. That means it's a new chat.
How do I
So
change to oh, all
so
messages?
that means YouTube censored you. I didn't do it.
I'm in all chat and I don't see it either.
Really? Okay, then YouTube just bonked you right out of existence. Sorry, buddy.
That's cool.
You can try replacing the dots with like commas or put brackets on either side of all the dots. That's a way to get through it.
Yeah, but also don't make YouTube think that you're a bot. Oh wait,
Anyway,
I'm a
as I was
mod.
saying,
Can
yeah,
I?
I like games that teach you by making you game over, because then you're on your 8 millionth run, and you're like, oh, I've been here a million times before, and you do it perfectly.
I
Like this game right here is a perfect example of that. It's not a dearth of information. It's that this is the intended way to play the game.
I had a very weird rant in my life where I talked about false difficulty, um, where that's actually a bad thing because you're not actually making the player better at the game. You're just having them memorize it. Like Dark Souls,
I
having
don't know if I
memorize
don't know if I
bosses.
agree. I think I really like memorizing bosses. I think it's fun for me.
But I think I don't know. This isn't a real opinion I have. It's just a real opinion I could have. Um, you know what I mean? Like it's something I think about but don't really believe in.
Huh. Well,
Um,
consider. Do you want every boss to be a purely stochastic
I
experience? Like
I think that's the ideal. I
curation.
think
Curation is part of it. You curate good stuff, and then people memorize that stuff, and they've played your game, and your game can only be played so many times.
But I think my ideal game with bosses, they don't have patterns. They're just adapting constantly. They like boss patterns don't exist. They have certain
Oh yeah, have you
tendencies,
considered
but I don't.
playing PvP games in that case? Because
Yeah, and then
that
yeah,
is hands down my favorite part of any PvP game, especially a 2D platform fighter, is you learn your opponent and your opponent learns you, and you have to constantly be adapting and learning. And it never ends because the source of content isn't the game, it's the person.
yeah.
But you kind of either need a relatively difficult to code AI for that, or a person who's willing to play with you constantly. Okay,
I'm really hopeful that
patience.
this is not me going large language models good. I love ChatGPT. I love slop.
Well, that's not what LLMs do either.
I know.
But you can
Um,
have AI do that. AI is broad on that. AI is ML. And you can definitely do that with ML. It's just a lot of work.
I'm very hopeful that we will get more games with kind of AI overseers. So like RimWorld has their storytellers, which is just sort of I mean, I think they're relatively simple. It's just kind of odds plus rules for what is going to happen when, how long do you have to recover, what is the general vibe of what you've going on, of what you've got going on. Which I think is cool. I think it'd be very interesting if there were games that actively saw you getting frustrated and would help you some of the time. I don't know. I like.
Oh yeah, games that like tone the difficulty down when they see you've died X number of times. That actually pisses me off. I would prefer you not do that
I have
automatically.
I have mixed feelings. I can't remember what it was, what game it was, but there was some game I was playing where after I died like 4 times and a boss was like, "Hey, every time I died, a little pop-up would go, would you like to turn the difficulty down? Don't do that,
Yeah, I don't like that either. But that
dumbass."
sounds like what you were describing.
It is, and that's why I have complicated feelings about it because you can't casually go like, "Oh, we'll just have a button to turn it off." Cool. People will turn it off who should have it on, but also doing it completely in the background is a jerk move too. I don't know.
I would prefer you just give me the difficulty options, and then I, being the moron I am going to pick the highest one and then bang my head on the wall because that's enjoyable for me.
It totally depends on the game. I usually pick the hardest difficulty, but there are some where it's just like impossible. Doom, again, I don't play shooters. I tried to play Doom when I was in
Doom's
high
like
school, and I was
barely
like,
a
"Oh,
shooter. Doom is a hack and slash with guns. That's what Doom
sure."
is.
I could not do the hardest. I couldn't get past like the first room on the hardest difficulty.
Granted, I have also not played Doom. Oh my god.
Yeah, I am.
Come on.
I am not. I am not a good video gamer. There is one interesting XCOM. That is roughly kind of a turn-based strategy game.
Oh, your Shadowrun guy talks about XCOM. Who'd have guessed?
Shut up. I don't. I've never played. I've never played XCOM. I probably enjoy it. Anyway, point is, XCOM cheats for you. The odds are always slightly better than what it says, or something
Hmm.
along those lines. XCOM quietly cheats in your favor.
This is somewhat niche, but maybe I'll get a someone to click with it. You know that um, Yu-Gi-Oh! XD episode where he's fighting the robot that says it has a 100% chance of winning, and then it didn't calculate his move, and I'm like, what are you using for your calculations?
Yeah, what are you doing, dude? It's always great
Or
when like villains
5Ds,
go.
not XD. I was thinking XD Gale of Darkness, which is a Pokemon thing. The
It's always
Yu-Gi-Oh! Where
great
they
when
have motorbikes, that one.
uh, the
They
hardest. Some
canceled
of the hardest I've ever
CW.
laughed was being in a.
Zexal. Shit. Hardest you've ever laughed.
Some of the hardest I've ever laughed was being in like a dentist waiting room and they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, the TV show,
Mhm.
and they're on their motorcycles and then they start a duel and they're on a highway, and the system diverts every car as the highway goes into duel mode.
I watched 5Ds. That is just how that works.
That that is one of the best memories of my life, is the idea that this entire country has two highways, one of which is used solely for idiots having duels on.
Duels are really important in advanced hyperfuture Yu-Gi-Oh! Society, don't you know?
It's beautiful.
History
I love
repeats
that
itself
so
every
much.
5,000 years. How are they going to do the Yu-Gi-Oh! Story 5,000 years from the present?
That's fair.
Uh, 5Ds isn't actually 5,000 years from contemporaneous. I don't know what is. I don't know when it takes place, but I don't. It's not the. It is its own story. And they canceled they canceled CW cartoons when Zexal was airing. So I never finished Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and I need to. I want to. I don't care about the cards anymore, but I just have to know how. Uh, his, I forget the guy's. I forget whose name's Zexal. It might be his ghost thing, but I needed to know how the protagonist's story ends because he's not allowed to lose anything, or else. Oh no, it's Zexal and Astral. Astral loses all his memories, and I need to know. But I have so much anime to watch. It's like I have to finish the shitty anime I'm already on before I start new shitty anime, and I have to like watch free run. Thanks for the like. This game just gets faster and faster.
Mr. Name here says 5DS is 50 plus years beyond the OG. That's cool.
Yeah,
50
which
years.
isn't 5,000.
But that's a sizable number. So is Yugi just dead, or are they not mentioned?
I I don't I in what I watched I didn't see Yugi. I don't think he was mentioned. But you know the Pharaoh is already split back apart, so it would just be regular ass Yugi.
I know next to nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh. The only things I know about Yu-Gi-Oh I've learned from YouTube skits making fun of it. That is it.
I watched it as a kid, and then I watched it again when it was airing on Twitch. Um, After I'd already learned some Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, oh shit, they're breaking every single rule. My
Oh yeah,
profile
they do that. That I know too.
my profile picture for the longest time, and it's still my profile picture in some places because I feel like I have to, for per a contract I kind of made in middle school, is the tuner card Booten. Like it's a flying pig, but they okay. So the OG characters are dead. There's a crossover movie with 5Ds, GX, and OG, and the 5Ds pro tag is surprised to see them alive. Huh. I didn't know about that. What was I
Yeah,
saying?
Yugi died at the prime
No,
old
okay.
age of 40 from
So
heart attack.
there's a tuner monster called Booten, and they're in the card game. There are two editions of it, and one of them has a halo, and one of them doesn't. And my friend, who is still my friend, even though we don't talk quite so much anymore, is like a purist for this particular card, and says that you have to use the original version, and all other versions are evil. So I made it a point in middle school to draw as many pigs with halos as possible and put them wherever I could, and I made it my profile picture. And it is still my profile picture in many places. I've recently branded the channel away from it
Nice.
because it's a copyrighted image. Even though there's no shot they actually like come for me, I want to own what I'm doing. Tuner, I hardly know her.
Uh,
Okay,
uh,
yeah, but like my Discord is still the profile pic, the OG picture, and it will always exist somewhere in my online persona, just to mess with my middle school friend Tristan.
that's cool. I wish I can't like reward comments. I can't like pin them. Can I pin comments?
I don't think
I
we're
don't. I don't.
gonna go that route this time for this channel. However, you're welcome to like shout them out, say them on stream if I'm not reading them.
Yeah, Mr. Name here 99. Good joke. Funny. Well done. There. Now it's recorded forever.
Yeah. Probably what's gonna happen is once I unlock supers, those are just gonna get auto pinned.
Ugh, yeah.
In the meantime, if you
Thank.
want to donate, I have a Ko-fi in the description. It's not hooked up to notifications. Thanks for the like. What does that bring us to, Karnathe?
Oh, let me check. You are at 1.8.
Oh shit. It should be up to 1.9 now then, right?
I
I keep
am
getting the
not
beep.
sure.
What are we at?
I'm looking. It says 1.8.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna look at the stream itself. Well, that says 2. Oh no, we're up to 12. Uh-oh. Is my stuff broken? No, okay, I minimized cheat engine so it wasn't updating. There we go. That should do
Oops.
it.
Cheating. The streamer is
No, it
cheating.
was getting faster. It's just the thing wasn't updating.
Oh,
Oh my
all right.
goodness, we're up
Okay.
to
Okay.
6
All right.
concurrents. That's insane. Hello, everybody. Reminder that if you like the video, it makes the game go faster, making my job harder, and I have been stuck hunting this one secret for like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, very entertaining gameplay. If you guys want to see a guy die over and over while I talk about whatever weird crap I think of, you're in the right place.
I've got the first part down. It's the part that I still struggle with even on the main stage, except they made it different on this stage to better fit the theme, so it's even harder. Like I can get the secret just fine. I
Okay.
just got the
Okay.
secret.
Actual game opinion. Actual real game opinion.
All right.
More games. You don't have to do the difficulty thing. You don't have to cheat for the player. Fine. But more games should enable something along the lines of save states.
Ooh.
Where if you're having trouble with one specific part, you can loop that part. You still have to beat the whole thing. Like after you beat it from that point, you get a pat on the back and you go, okay, cool. You have to do the whole thing now. But more games should do that
Like
because a
a
lot of my
Geometry Dash.
frustration. Do they have that?
Yeah, Geometry Dash has practice mode. The problem with practice mode is you don't get the song to time your stuff to.
It's a little odd. Okay.
There's a specific practice mode song. So that kind of ruins the rhythm game aspect of it. But overall, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. If I would be okay if that is that as a middle ground of we are going to loop this one section until you get it right. You will have to play the game. The difficulty still exists, but we understand that it is one part that you are struggling with.
In Osu, I actually I took out some. I did maps that I was focusing on, but I would cut straight to the hard part to just practice it. And they're,
Mm.
by modern Oster standards, they're not very hard maps. But I was learning. I like 3 stars was insane for me at the time. Um, so that's what I did on I think it's Vagrant Feet Vila by Faint. There's one of the two maps that's like popular for that one. I was like really struggling with, so I just broke out the part that was hardest and just did it over and over. And at the end of the day, that didn't even help me enough. I had to just, get good at the game itself.
Mm. But I don't
But
know.
like
I
it's
think
a
that'd be
it's a
helpful.
strat that you can definitely use. Okay, we're back to this part. We have to just win Windy Bridge. That's it. No, we've
I think
lost Windy Bridge again. I hate Windy Bridge. I hate Windy Bridge so much. Windy Bridge
Cool.
is the hardest part of this entire game, and I say that having played nearly the entire game. Like we're so
I
close
will
to
say,
finishing the game.
I will say, I think I'm not terribly consistent with going like, oh, this is stupid difficulty. This shouldn't. I beat Hollow Knight's Path of Pain, which you'll get there. You'll see it when you
Oh
get there.
boy.
Um, which is nothing but like a looping horrible difficulty thing. And I have finished it, and it is one of my proudest achievements. It's not actually that hard. It's great because I'm sure everybody who's ever played like Super Meat Boy is currently laughing at me. But it's for me, it's
Well,
very
Super Meat
difficult.
Boy is just
Okay.
like a different game, though, right? It's just a
A
different
Path of Pain
style
is a
of
platformer. So,
platformer.
um, actually, that specific part has some distinct similarities.
Huh.
Um, yeah, it's pretty brutal, but it's also it's fun. The thing that Hollow Knight does this thing that I really hate, where after you finish an area, sometimes they will lock it off. The Path of Pain locks irrevocably as soon as you finish it. For as far as I can tell, no reason.
This little bit. Ugh.
But Hollow Knight does that. Hollow Knight has some really
Yeah, don't
weird,
lock bits. Let me do it over and over
irritating.
again.
There's this one really cool section where it's this big dramatic moment, and you finally get to the special place. After you leave the special place, you can't get back. But there's. Remember how I talked about Hollow Knight's secrets being inconsistent? There was two paths. There was two things to do, and I was going like, okay, hang on, I need to do the secret one, but I didn't know which one was the secret one and which one was the way I was supposed to go. I just went the way I was supposed to go and left and couldn't come back for it,
Damn. I
and
was
that made
complaining
me
about that right
really
at the
mad.
beginning of playing Sonic. I don't like secrets that are a winding path away from the main. I want little nooks and cranny type secrets.
Mhm.
And Sonic does a
This one,
mediocre job of that. Sometimes the secrets are a little nook and cranny way. I don't even mind this secret that I'm hunting right now, because it's a very slightly different path on a day stage. But like there are night secrets that are nooks and crannies that are great, and there are night secrets that are, oh, you have to do this path and you're not sure if it's the right path, and those are more annoying.
yeah.
Couple I can think of in
Um,
Haluska that are like really egregious about it. One in Shamar. It's like, which way's the right way?
and more specifically, which way is the wrong way?
Yeah.
That's sometimes the harder
Don't
question.
don't do that to me. Don't make me pick. In this, it's very assumed that you're going to be playing these stages one more billion times. So they're allowed to have branching paths that you can be like, oh, next time I play, I'm going to do that instead, and then
Yeah.
I'll get the secret. Um, but when you're in Werehog form, like that's just you're not necessarily racing the same way, so you have more time to go
Mhm.
back and do stuff. Okay, we're back here. We are gonna take this slow and goddamn steady. No!
Sonic. Sorry, I was gonna make a joke, but I didn't want to distract you, which is just Sonic with arthritis simulator.
Sonic with arthritis simulator. No! Why is
He's
that
running
so
along and
funny? Why
he's
is
running
that
along and all you can
fucking
hear is
hilarious in my head? Oh my god. That
hey,
shouldn't
hold
be that
on.
funny. Sonic with arthritis simulator.
It's
That
just him walking
that's
places. A Sonic with Arthritis Simulator gained us a viewer. Someone came in just to hear me say that.
Hello, viewer. If you like the video and you hit the like button on the video, it will make the game faster, which will make my job more difficult. Fucking hell, make my job more difficult.
If you'd like to see this one path attempted a few more times,
I,
you too can screw up the timing
I'll
even
get
more.
there. I'll get there. It's just a windy bridge, followed by all the goddamn
Absolutely.
spike balls.
Um,
Like this bit's
back to
easy.
game design ideas that I'd like to implement. This is super vague, but I like this idea. A game entirely about kiting enemies, and the
I'm sorry. Have you
one
played
part of the
Vampire Survivors? I must have Vampire the Masquerade.
no, in this you pretty much never fight them.
Oh,
The
any
one the
pacifist
one
challenge ever.
the one thing that I keep coming back to, what initially inspired this, is it's a super dark area where you can't see anything, and the only lights are enemies.
Ooh, that's clever. I do like that. I like that a lot. Don't touch the lights; they'll
Um,
burn you. You're a
yes, but
moth.
you do need them.
You do need them to
Other one,
progress, yeah.
the other one that I keep thinking about is uh, I, this isn't, you know, those open world games where there's areas you're not supposed to be in yet, and it's because everything's way too hard and anything can one shot you,
Yeah,
and
I
you're trying to
have
explore
mixed feelings
around.
about those. They have to make sense.
Well,
Sometimes they
I've,
don't just
I've
make sense.
but also the games where you can kind of platform, not really glitch, that's not really what I'm saying, but games where you can kind of move around in weird ways and get to strange places, not in a like
Oh
speed
yeah,
run.
Hollow Knight. I actually know that about Hollow Knight that you can like sword bounce whatever, where you hit the spikes with your sword or your nail.
Yeah, yes, nail bouncing. It's so that type of sensation I really love. I love going in places where I'm not supposed to be and
That
doing
is
things I'm not
part
supposed to
of
do.
that is so ingrained in me that I consider it part of my identity. I love doing that. I chose a
I don't
goddamn
want.
career because I enjoy
Yeah.
doing things I'm not supposed to be able to do. And for over a year, for nearly 2 years, I was a professional hacker who exclusively did things technically that he wasn't supposed to be able to do.
So I love that sensation. I want a game where the like dumb isekai plot story is that you're in a dungeon way too advanced for you. So every enemy can one-shot you, and any weapon or pickup you get, you can't use because it's too powerful for you. So you have to sneak around the terrifying bosses and try to get them not to notice you, and then steal tiny little broken pieces of stuff because that's something you can use. You can't use Cinnabar Staff of Fire, but
I
you
would
can use
fucking
this.
eat this game up. I just need you to know that I would eat this game up.
So it's you finding these incredibly scuffed, weird abilities that you can just barely handle.
If you want to game jam
And
this with me, I will game jam this with you.
yeah, I don't know. I really like the idea of picking up weird oddball abilities, and also just like it doesn't really work. Like you can set your hand on fire. That's your cool power, but also it's really useful for this one thing that you need to do. I like abilities where it's weird and quirky and strange. I get very sad
Maybe I
when
need
there's
to sell
games
you
full of
on
weird.
ADOM
I get
because it
very
has a
sad when
lot of
there's
that.
games where they have weird quirky stuff, and then actually what's optimal is just like a DPS build. That shouldn't be the case.
Oh, yeah, in that case, I don't need to sell you on ADOM because one of the big defining features of ADOM is that a lot of the abilities just aren't good.
Yeah, and it's Binding of Isaac kind of does this. There's a lot of weird quirky items you can use, except for the fact that they're kind of not
No!
gonna make the. Oh, so close. I'm so
It's
sorry.
because it's so incredibly hard to time the jumps when it's this fast. Thanks for the
Yeah,
14 likes. I've barely been streaming today. Oh my god. And our viewership has been insane. This is
yeah,
this is the
we're
best my
getting.
stream has ever done, I think. At least
Uh,
per time.
the YouTube algorithm has a thing where if it hears two people talking, it just directs more viewers.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're filling my dead air, and I've still got the Zoomer attention span gameplay going on.
Um, Other weird game concepts. I have one that I think might be genuinely unplayable, which is a top-down kind of sneaky assassination, get through here, kill everyone, can't be noticed, by the way, type game. Um, but it's you can teleport and you teleport wherever your mouse is, but it's instantaneous. There's no like flash. It's purely instant, and the camera instantly snaps to the middle of your screen, or like because your character is always in the middle, like Hotline Miami, except that you can teleport to wherever your mouse is
Hmm.
instantly, which I think might be genuinely unplayable. But I'd also really love to try it because getting a high level play of that would be, I think, effectively someone playing the game as a slideshow, except the slideshow is going at like a million,
Oh yeah,
frames per second.
you would like the Spelunky world record, which is just using the teleporter. No!
That it's funny that there's so many kind of games where you go down and the speed run is get the random teleport and get
Thank you for
very
the
lucky.
like.
The speed run for Noida is
Yeah,
also just
but
drink teleportatium.
damn. Yeah, but Spelunky. If you're looking for Spelunky like actual gameplay, you just have to go for the no teleporter world record. I haven't even played Spelunky 2. I need to do that. That would be a great stream game. I don't know if it's quite with my channel identity, but I could definitely make it because I play Spelunky's probably my third most played game on Steam. I have all the achievements legitimately, and I hacked the world record.
That oh yeah, that's right. You talked about that.
Yeah,
That was
I did some
really
game
funny.
hacking. I by no means represent my top Steam score as a legitimate play. So that the honor goes to everybody who's running Moss Ranking, which is an incredible site. Um, but in terms of like the technical challenge of hacking a game, it was fun because
Nice.
they've got little preventions in there at multiple levels, and it was fun to discover and bypass them.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is cool.
I am hacker. I am lead hacksaw.
You would like Noida, where the best
I'm a Fury
spells
Forged
you can make
watcher.
are just yeah, it's just programming. You've seen it. You just straight up programming. I have the achievement for Noida for making an infinite spell,
There we go.
and I nice, well done.
Yeah, I haven't even played
Woo!
Noida. I've just watched a lot of it. All right,
Um,
215.
there's a there's an achievement for getting us for making a spell that lasts forever, but you can get it very easily by just getting lucky. It's not actually, but it's not useful. This specific thing, it just gets you the achievement, and I got it by accident, and I felt very guilty. 'Cause I don't deserve that achievement.
Yeah, I've hacked a lot of games to get my name at the top of leaderboards because it was just kind of a hobby I had for a little while. Um,
That's so funny.
but the main two that I'm proud of, one of them got cleaned, but I like talking about it anyway. Is
Mhm.
Crypto the Necrodancer. So
Oh, really?
both Spelunky and Crypto the Necrodancer, I at one point held the top score. Uh, Spelunky, it's still there. You can go check the Spelunky HD leaderboards for all
I've
time
seen it. It's
score.
funny.
Yeah, and then Crypto Necrodancer, I felt a little guilty, and maybe I deserve it, but maybe I don't. Talking to the guy who cleaned my score, and I told him like, yeah, here's how I did it. And he's like, yeah, here's how the entire technical check works. And I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. He's like, yeah, but like you mean you just hacked it? And I'm like, yeah, because he had some theory about how it had happened accidentally, and then I came into his chat because I watched a lot of Crypto Necrodancer on Twitch back in the day, and I was just talking
Hmm.
about it, and he's like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" It felt a little bad, but it was an interesting technical challenge, and I still hold by that. And it's a little worse if the community is actually using the Steam leaderboard, which Crypto
Yeah,
Necrodancer kind of does. There are other hack scores on there, um, but that doesn't, you know, with the Steam leaderboards, they don't use the Steam leaderboards. They just use Moss ranking. That's how you know. Like people have to upload their shit. Uh, I don't know. I don't feel enough moral qualms with it to not do it.
I mean,
But
the
there's a
fact that
discussion
you
to be had.
the fact that you immediately fessed up and they went, "That's cool. All right, we're gonna clean it now." I think
No,
that
no,
is
he
probably the
cleaned it
best way.
beforehand. He just recognized me and the score.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, wait, aren't you the guy?
Yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? We are on our last secret. Wow.
Ooh.
Or second to last, I guess, because the last one is the one we get once we unlock the stage. Special mission Eggman Land Battle Royale. At the beginning, head toward the screen and you will find it in the back of 2 blue orb items. Wow. Okay, here we go. We're almost done. Can you believe it?
No,
Christmas, just a
absolutely
week
not.
away.
Just a
I
week
am
away. I
so
adore that.
happy about this information.
That's one of my favorite pieces of internet content.
I love just saying Christmas just a week away at random times of the year.
Yep. It's enrichment. It's important to me.
I am monkey in cage. I need enrichment.
Hmm.
And of course, try again.
So for that teleporting game, it originally started out as a idea I had for an incredibly edgy game, um, where it's uh, it's a guy who's suicidal and he succeeds in killing himself, and then he gets brought back, and the entire game is every boss you fight is a different form of suicide.
I
Um,
wouldn't. I'm not gonna platform that probably, but certainly an interesting artistic take.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like it. But the point that's important for gameplay is as you go along, the person who brought you back is uh, getting you better, right? Like, congratulations, I'll upgrade your abilities, right? And it, you get a little bit more health, you get a little bit more speed, but the final upgrade for each one of them is okay. I think we've moved past this. You don't have to worry about this anymore. So the final upgrade for like the teleportation recharge is it doesn't have a recharge.
Oh, have you have
Um,
very slightly tangential? Have you played
hmm?
Amori? Hey,
No,
it's one of my favorite games of all time.
I've been
Uh,
told to.
but one of the things it does that's not a spoiler because it is a very easily spoilable game, so don't look anything up. Um,
Hmm.
is that it's got this concept of fears, and it's not a gameplay lock, but it's a progression lock where you're afraid of a certain thing. Uh, you're afraid of a certain thing, so you can't progress because that thing is there. And then as the game goes on, you confront your fears.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a crazy game though. There's so much more than just that. That's like one of the smaller, interesting concepts
Yeah,
they do. I
I
highly,
see.
highly recommend you play Amore, and I've only played half of it. I've only played the good route.
I didn't even know it had that route. Noted. Okay. But so the idea for so again, he's upgrading your abilities, right? And then finally, you're increasing your health, and then there's the final. Then this is the final one is upgrading your health, and he goes, okay, you don't have to worry about this anymore. And instead of your health bar going up, it goes down, and it slowly creeps down, and then it stops at one. Congratulations, you don't have to worry about what your health is anymore. And if the whole thing's basically
Oh,
the actual game is one hit kill always.
yeah. That should be like. Are you thinking that's like when New Game Plus begins, or are you thinking this is all like
No,
a
no, that is
prologue?
that is the prologue.
Okay, very nice.
I also the other thing I thought of is at some point you get a three shot revolver, but the gimmick is which is the only ranged weapon in the entire game because everything else is only backstabs. Um, but if you miss a single shot, it just kills you instantly.
Huh. Like one in the chamber sort of style, but like without the part where your opponent has to shoot you.
What's one in the chamber?
It's a game that appears on, among other things, a lot of like Minecraft servers where you have a bow and one arrow, and every time you get a kill, you get another arrow.
Oh, fun. No, it's just a three shot. It's just a three-shot revolver that you have to reload after three shots, but you can't miss any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just what
So
it
with
is in
one in
my
the
head.
chamber,
But
the gimmick is once you've spent if you miss a shot, you have to kill someone with a sword, and you can't use your bow again
yeah,
until you get another kill.
cool.
It is.
I
It was
dig that.
fun. It wasn't my top because again, I'm not really a first person shooter kind of guy.
Yeah. Trying to think about. I have like weird scuffed game design ideas. The other one that I keep thinking about is a
Oh,
uh,
fucking
side,
hell.
side-scrolling game where you have to. It's kind of like a hunt a legendary creatures thing. Um,
Hmm.
but it's very brutal kind of bow-based combat where you're doing backflips over animals and then having to the one that I keep thinking is imagine a huge boar charging you and your character jumps and kind of does a backflip and then aims and fires the bow at the back of the boar's skull as it passes underneath her.
Hmm.
That's kind of like my tagline trailer advertisement thing for it.
Okay. I have actually done like I know I was talking about it earlier as like a half-assed thing, but I have actually done a good chunk of work, at least ideation and like design work on a game idea I've had for a while. I don't know if I've already shared it with you, but you have a spell queue, and then item as every time you cast a spell, it puts it at the front of the queue, and the one at the back drops off. And I have like a lot of world building done for that. I
That's
just need
cool.
I just need to. I even have like an engine for it, but the problem is I need to split the world into chunks because right now it's open world and it slows down after you load too many tiles. But
That's good.
I did this thing with it where I was talking about earlier. I did like proper server architecture with it. Um, so y- there's no code. You don't need any code. When it's properly set up, you just SSH into a box, and then the game is
Oh,
right
that's
there
cool.
because the game's binary is the shell on the user account. So
Cool.
it's seamless. You log in and then it's just there you go because it's ncurses based, which means it runs directly in a terminal using just baseline terminal inputs.
That's really neat.
But I'd like to do a graphical version at some point, and I'd like to, you know, either distribute the full source code or distribute the source code without some of the ARG secrets that I'm ready to start with.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
like I
that,
know Noita, the Noita devs do this fun thing where they've got like trolls for people who are trying to disassemble the game. Like they'll have sprites named certain things that don't adequately represent them, and then the sprite ends up being a different size. But I also know that
nice.
all of the spiciest secrets are directly in the engine, so they're way harder to find than just the files.
Yeah, they're
Like the
really good at
cauldron.
hiding stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big Hempuli fan too. I love Baba Is You. That's another one I have to play. Although I don't know how good a stream game that is because it's a puzzle game. So I'm just gonna be sitting there thinking about it. Uh,
Yeah.
Baba Is You is one of the games where I pirated it just to see how it was, and then I was like, oh shit, this is so good. I can't keep playing it until I buy it, and then I bought it.
Um,
And I hope Hempuli won't hate me forever for saying that I pirated his game. Um,
I would, of course,
but
never admit to anything ever.
Well,
However,
that's happened with a couple of games. Look,
yep.
there are plenty of games I pirated, been like, I don't like this. There've been games. It's no different from like there's a game on Steam. I try it. I'm like, this isn't a very fun game. I'm going to refund it. Um, it but like there are some games where I'm like, I'm not in a state to buy this right now, but I want to try it out.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, hold on, sorry, I'm in a rough place in the game.
You're good. Please don't die.
Oh, but content. You gotta die for the content.
Oh wait, excuse me. Big boy. Oh,
Big
I did not
boy.
do that.
This is a
I'm not.
callback.
I'm not. I'm not sleepy enough. I'm not sleepy enough.
For viewers in chat, that's a reference to the first like video we did. So day one of this challenge, he basically fell asleep in call, and he was like half
And
awake for a little while, and he just said some funny shit that didn't fully make sense. I think I even left it in the subtitles for one of his things, where he's like, I asked him what he said here, and he wasn't fully sure. We're running
yep, you
theories
did.
he
You
fell
did.
asleep.
You did.
Still 10 more. Okay.
I don't know. I'd love to prototype that Archer game because I think I could do it with just no art, just stick figures doing it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why I did Encris's. Oh boy, it's gonna be really rough.
I'm pretty sure I
Oh
have a
fucking hell! I was so
list
close.
list list of game ideas.
Yeah. I see. The thing is, I'm not even limited by my technical ability or my, speed of learning because I can pick up. I was trying to pick up Godot and I was having some success. It's just my patience. That's the only limiter. Is how long big ADHD energy. How long can I stick with a project? Because like when I start a project and I'm like hyper focused on it, it's like the best shit in the world, you know. But
Hmm.
I can only maintain that for so long. So I
Yeah.
have to be crazy enthusiastic about an idea, and I'll start really enthusiastic. And even if I have like a baseline enthusiasm throughout the entire project, there comes a point where like it's just not as thoroughly interesting as it could be. And it sucks because
Um.
I really want to see a lot of these things through, but that it
Yeah.
becomes the details of the implementation that I don't have patience for after a point.
Hmm.
Right.
But what's the joke that a good Tetris clone can be seen entirely from how like flipping works, like rotating the blocks, because it's the trickiest bit to get perfect.
Huh. Yeah, I was big on following the all the Tetris news as like Blue Scooty and folks were beating the game like for the first for the first time in like giga years, and these are all people who weren't alive when Tetris came out.
Yeah. So I'm going through my list of like ideas, and some of these are games. I have one which is quote stealth game where you play as a tank.
What?
Um, so that yeah,
Like a World of Tanks tank like government issue?
yeah. And you're trying to be stealthy, which is interesting because that's oh, never mind. D rank every other game I wanted you to play. You should go play. This would actually be a good stream game too. What's it called? Uh, had it, lost it. What is it called? Damn it. Brigador. There we go. You should go play Brigador on stream.
Burgador?
Brigador.
You're just gonna
Um,
have to text that to me. I'm not gonna remember that.
you're good. I can do that. It's really really good, and it's completely slept on. No one cares about it, and it's such a shame because it's such a good game. It's a top-down game where you play in a mech and you are a terrorist, and that's the game.
Ha!
I don't want to spoil more because I
Gonna
want you to
get me
watch
put
the
on a fucking
introductory.
watch list. That's what you're gonna do
Yeah, yeah. In a game, in Minecraft, in that
in
game.
Minecraft.
Let's see if I got any other weird ass game ideas. Oh, game where you teleport to your gun's bullets.
That might exist.
That it almost certainly does. I have one here that is simply piss jug lemonade. I don't know what that is.
Are you sure this is your games idea folder and not strange
Hush, hush,
strange kink shit?
hush. Um, okay,
Piss jug lemonade.
I do have one that I think this would actually work better as an anime than a game, but I really like the idea, which is those like, oh my God, legendary hero summoned from another world. You're here to
Isekai.
defeat,
The word is
King.
isekai.
Okay, so they're doing this and they get through it and they finally beat the big bad and then they go back home, right? You're in charge of the rebuilding effort.
So
After
the problem is that every isekai under the sun has already been made. So someone's definitely done that.
Right, but it's not an isekai because the isekai guy is gone.
No, but like
You're just
they have
yeah.
done that specific thing. That has been done. I hate to break it to you. That has just been done.
That's
I
cool.
I can find the title if you want.
I'd like that actually. That would be good to see. Oh, I had one. Um, more of an art project than a game, but it would also be a good game. Um, Tower defense, but you're losing.
Yeah, it's called Dota.
No, no. Um, Tower defense, but you are just supposed to hold them back so the civilians can run, and you are being overrun. And your entire like, there's no way to
Okay.
win. You just have to lose slowly.
Well, I think Bloons has endless mode.
But
I mean,
that's
I
very
see where you're
decisive.
going for it narrative wise. Anyway, I just got the secret key. Look at that! Oh my
Um,
god.
so one of the things that I keep thinking about is that you can, because you're it's sort of modern military themed, right? So
Mhm.
you can call down missile strikes, but the missiles are inaccurate. So oh, I have to get this building out of the way so the civilians can run. I'm going to go shoot missiles, and I'm going to pray that one of them does not go off course.
Okay, what we're gonna do now is because we're still missing a sun medal. We're gonna do Dark Gaia Cauldron before we do the final mission, and we're gonna do it as fast as we can.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh
And
boy!
we're also at 2.5 speed, which is, I think, tied for our record. It might be one off. If you like the video, fun fact, it makes the game go faster. Yeah, so we have to do this at high speed. We might have to do it multiple times. Oh my god.
Sorry for just spamming like game ideas I had. I don't know. I
No, no,
just
this
thought
is great.
meta.
This is absolutely the kind of content I want on my stream. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm just getting pummeled. Need to get out of here. Why aren't you... Okay. Might have to redo this specific segment.
Um, okay, I had one more. This is just an idea. It's not really a game concept. But I keep thinking of this one thing where it's time to go to the next place, right? Like you finished this area of the game, so now it's time to move on to the next area, right? And the way that you do that is there's this, it doesn't matter what it is, but there's an obstacle. Maybe there's a door that you have to get open, or you have to build like a little lifting thing so that you can lift yourself over the wall. Something along those lines, right? But the
Yeah.
thing is that it's very, very far away. So you get to this area for the first time, and you see the gate, and you go over to it, and like, oh, okay, I need 54 screws, 9 nails, 10 planks of wood, whatever. But you can't get all those resources close. So, and this has happened before in the game. This is an unprecedented. So you have to walk back to town, farm all that stuff up, and then come back with it, right? So you do all that. It takes ages. You walk back. There's encounters along the way. You walk and you get all the stuff, and then a day later you come back. Wait, it wanted 64 screws. Why is it 65 screws? Are you kidding me? No way. It said 64. I know it said 64.
Huh.
Okay. All right. Whatever. I'll come back for it. You get one more screw. You come back,
Shit.
and something else is different. It's not screws now. It's nails. So the game just gaslights you, and there's actually like getting past that takes something different because there's something else blocking you that makes you forget or makes it different every time.
Interesting. I
I
think that
really
would
dig the
kind of
idea of
piss
it
me
breaking.
off.
Oh yeah, I really like the idea of a game that at sort of as you continue sort of breaks down around the edges and crumbles and also
You
definitely
would like
gaslights you.
Inscription and Pony Island and a lot of the Daniel Mullins games then.
Yeah, I have Inscription. I need to actually play it.
It's a amazing game. Fucking hell. Get back here, you bird.
Another one is similar, like just game that gaslights you. You leave town, you come back, and like the helpful keeper guy or one of the characters looks a little different or has a different name, and it's
Oh
very
yeah.
subtle. So you're not sure whether it was always that way or if it's just
I like
slightly
that
different.
though. That's you could go an Eldritch sort of direction with that if you wanted.
Hmm.
Like, beginning to look a lot like Fishmen. That's my favorite Christmas
This
song. beginning to look a lot like fishmen everywhere I go.
But something else. Huh, oh, it's another one I keep coming back to where, you defeat Big Bad and you walk back to your village and oh my God, the village is being attacked by goblins. Help us, please help us. So
Goblins.
the village is burning down and you have to go around killing goblins. But it starts to look kind of weird and eventually it fades. Oops, it was a mirage. You've been killing your friends this whole time.
Play off. That
Oh, is
that
that
one
the
exists.
baseball bat one? Is that a
Yeah.
baseball bat one?
That I haven't fully played it, but it's been recommended to me, and my understanding is that is the concept.
Cool.
More of these fucking guys. Okay, is that in time? That's probably not in time. That is so in time. Oh my god. That's
Well
every.
done.
That's okay. I've officially gotten every sun medal now. Now it's on to the final moon medal and the final secret in Autobot. Oh my god. I have this is like completing the game levels. Like it's reached the goal unscathed and there's a secret on here somewhere. Oh, and I need to cross out 216 so we can focus on 180. And we're doing this at crazy high speed, too. This might be your last opportunity ever to like the stream to make my game go faster. At least last opportunity for this particular game. We have to find the secret on this level, and I am willing to look it up. But we have to find it. Ooh. Ow. Shit. Okay, we're gonna beat it once just so we can have every single medal. And then once we beat it, if we haven't found the secret, then we look up where it is. Oh my god, this goes so fast. It's so fast. No, you don't get it. It's just so reactive. It's insane. Like, it's hard to control. That's how fast we're at. Like, I know Sonic's already a little hard to control, but this is, like, nuts.
You touch like I hear you click the button for a nanosecond and Sonic darting to the left is really showing me how tough this is.
Yeah. It's so crazy. There it is. There's the secret. Getting fired at from all angles. Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. Here we go. Oh my god. We just beat
Well
the
done.
game. We just beat the
Well done.
entire game from start to finish. You ready? We're going to watch the movie. We're going to watch the secret movie, 32. I only have 14
am
lives. I don't
excited.
know what's up with that. I think there's a 15th, but whatever. I don't know. We're going to look at all our stuff first. We're going to marvel at everything
Nice.
complete. Okay, now we're going to go to movies. We're going to go look at the final movie.
Is this a Kung Fu Panda
This
parody?
is a Kung Fu Panda reference.
Okay. Ugh.
This
Ugh.
is a Kung Fu Panda reference.
I didn't need
Son.
to see that. That's your final reward? That's what you get?
We beat the game, bros. We beat the
Well
game.
done. Well done.
All right. Anybody want to see any particular stages, or are we gonna wind down with fucking Monster Jam for the PS2?
No, you gotta play Ultra Hell.
Nah, I don't want to play Ultra Hell right now. I want to play
Oh.
Monster Jam for the PS2. Thank you,
Very nice.
everybody who was here for Sonic. I think we're gonna transition
Woo!
away now that we've literally beaten the entire game from start to finish.
The
Every single
Snapcube
secret.
viewers, the Snapcube viewers, you're giving them up.
No, it's okay. They have the video I put out today, which is a cool video. They have the video I first put out. They're gonna have whatever video I put out with this. Um, and I get to have a little fun dicking around with a much easier racing game. Wow, we beat the game.
Well done.
We're gonna look at our title screen and we're gonna see a completely maxed out save file, and it's gonna be intensely resolutional. Like, oh my goodness. Woo! That's pretty fucking sweet.
Nice. Very nice. I like Amy just being there.
Yeah, it'll random when you make a new save, it'll randomly select one of the characters, and I got Amy. All right. Wow. It's so fast too. It's so fast. Look here. I'm going to press my turn off the speed hack button. That's the normal speed. And this is what we've reached. Okay. All right. Let's exit without saving because it autosaves. And let's put on goddamn Monster Jam for the PS2 and dick around a bit. I should also peek at Discord. Oh, that's just you sending me the name. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Brigador. Yeah.
It it actually would be a good stream game to play blind.
Yeah, yeah. And the stream is working. If it's getting the video, it should also be getting the audio. I'm gonna Alt-Enter this. And we're gonna carry over our speed. Except this game has no stakes. I started a save file. We're gonna ignore it. We're gonna make another one. We're gonna call this Alpha. And now we're gonna fucking relax. We're gonna do the championship. Alright, what car are we using? We're using Gravedigger? Or are we using Monster Mutt? We're using Bounty Hunter! Bulldozer! Blue Thunder! King Crunch! Which one are we doing, Karnathe?
I like Can Crunch.
King Crunch! We beat Sonic Unleashed. That's crazy. I was not ever able to beat Sonic Unleashed as a kid. We just did everything. Alright. So this one you have to hold down a fuel button. But you get a bunch of points for like... Oh my god, it's so slow. It's not a very performant game, especially when you're trying to run it at crazy speeds. You get points for like destroying stuff. So you don't have to finish well. I think you're supposed to specifically for these, but for like lots of maps and challenges, it's just about like breaking stuff, which I can get behind, you know. Oh, that's straight into a river. Okay. It's a very forgiving game too. It just lets you do whatever. Yeah, it's running very slow. I think we have to turn off the speed hack, unfortunately. It does not seem to play nice with the speed hack, so unfortunately we will be disabling the speed hack and just playing. Isn't this the racing game you guys came to see? Isn't this the racing game that got me all the viewers?
I mean, you could basically put Sonic in there. That car looks like Sonic.
It does. This is the Sonic car, guys. I don't want to change the title because I want this to be the title that people see when they watch the VOD. But like...
German behavior. Trolling people when you come in.
It's Sonic, guys! Look. I'm blue and I'm
like,
going fast.
who's the guy that does YouTube videos where it's like, oh yeah, this is this song from this game, except it's not.
Silva Gunner.
Yeah, you could do that, but for games.
Whoosh. Yeah, it's not running fast even now that I have even now that I have turned the speed hack off. It's still slow. This is so funny.
Oh,
This
never
this
mind.
was
You know what?
also my bread and butter as a kid. What's up?
Never mind. You know what game you should play on stream? I've changed my answer.
What?
You should play the Mad Max video game. It's
I'm
actually
barely
pretty good.
involved in the franchise. The only reason I
It
know
does.
the franchise beyond Stranger Things is because I think I think the term blood bag should refer to a vampire thrall, not to
Mm,
someone, not to whatever the fucking dialysis bullshit they're doing in that show.
yeah.
Blood bag is
Um,
so much better of a term for uh, a submissive vampire or a submissive like human who willingly offers their blood up to a vampire. That makes so much more
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Um, the Mad Max video game is a decent game, but it has the dubious honor of just straight up lying about what it's about. The advertising material makes a very big fuss about how much like car customization there is. Every upgrade is a linear upgrade. There's no reason to use anything other than the best thing.
Oh, I want to talk about all my subversion of expectations video games, but I can't because then I'm revealing that they're subversion of expectations video games. So I'll just say I like DDLC, and the other ones that are better, I will keep my mouth fucking shut on for now.
Nice.
Anyway, we got first place and we wrecked a bunch of stuff, and that felt pretty good.
Um, I'm not going to tell you what precisely, but Apuna does that at one point. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that would spoil it, but it
Yeah.
is interesting.
Why don't you just send me a big list of all of these games, and they'll go somewhere in my queue, and then
Nah,
maybe one day chat will vote on them.
that would be interesting.
Dun, dun,
I,
dun, 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 dun.
I do think you should do Ultra Hell just an intro because I'm not kidding. You're gonna play Ultra Hell for I think actually 20 minutes.
I'll get to it. Ugh. I should turn off my liking this stream stuff. Hold on. Pause. Let me go to OBS and be a little bit more honest about this. Um, where's the window capture? This one?
You may like this stream. It will do nothing, but it will make me happy. And isn't that reward enough?
Where do I want to put chat? I just put in chat here. Put chat here. Sure.
Uzi.
Playing Monster Jam. Wait, no, it works because Sonic is a monster in Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
It works so well.
It's not very sexy though.
Uh, people who like Monster Jam like it because they associate it with testosterone. So I don't know about that.
That's fair. I don't know.
It's
Big
not
wheels,
my
little
cup of
body.
tea. If I'm looking for testosterone in like a partner, this is not the kind. This is not the type of person I'd be looking for. But I'm very happy with my current partner who does not have large amounts of testosterone, uh, and you know, I don't know what the B was. I'm happy. I'm bi, but I'm happy with my current setup. So it's kind of a moot point outside of identity.
Sorry, I don't want to like bring this up in any pointed way. I just think it's interesting. I read a story about someone who was like a married dude who had been married for a while, had kids, and he came out as bi, which is interesting to me because I kind of consider that a dick move in this instance because it made his wife very nervous.
Um,
which is by erasure. I like that, but all
If
but I
if that's an issue, then you have trust issues in your relationship that you have to deal with
and then
anyway.
okay, and that's fair. My only counterpoint is like I don't know the jerk response, right, is like, what's the point of coming out if you're happily married, which is dumb. That's not really like why
It's
you
just
should.
an identity thing.
But at the same time, like I don't know. I do kind of think it's a dick move on the part of that husband of that dude.
I don't think so, but I think it's very cultural too. Like, I again, I'm happy with my SO. Uh,
Hmm.
we'll still both, point at people who we think are hot and say, "Oh yeah, that person is hot," in not quite so personal a way. Uh, but I, I, I think I can speak for them when I say that we're both very secure and that we're not going to get
Yeah,
cheated on.
yeah.
So when I came out as bi, it wasn't. I mean, they get a little like fake jealous at times, but it's
Oh,
nothing
that's
that's
cute.
like it's nothing real. So no,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say it's the dude coming out as bi. He's absolutely entitled to come out as bi. That's just and if he has trust issues in his relationship, that's a problem. That's a problem that should even they should look for solutions to that. But
Yeah.
I don't think the solution is continue to hide your identity, right? Or
Yeah, and I
essential
think
parts of
that's
who you
fair.
are. But yeah, society has a lot of like, and I'm going to speak very broadly and very potentially controversially. Society has a lot of like expectations that are uh, from the concept of patriarchy about cheating and loyalty in a
Yeah.
relationship. I'm not even talking about like CNM. I'm talking about like if a man cheats on his partner with a woman, who do you blame? And my answer is 99% the man.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's
the
it's a nice
homewrecker.
thing to do to make sure that whoever you're uh, having sex with or whatever is not in a committed relationship. But you don't have to. You have no contract with the person that they have a contract with, a social contract.
Yeah.
So when all these when you hear all these things about someone being a home wrecker, that's really just a way to take a bunch of responsibility away from the man, unless they're both in relationships that are monogamous, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is kind of funny. It's like, oh no, she seduced me. Okay, have you considered having the slightest amount of a spine?
Exactly.
Like, what are
like
what are we doing that I
I
can
I
kick my ass and be like, oh,
I,
committed
I
life of 50 years? I have decided to ruin this for no reason.
I wouldn't be happy if my partner cheated on me. I wouldn't be happy with the person they cheated on me with, but
But also
all of the
punish your
blame
partner.
and all of the
Yeah.
personal feelings would go to the person who I had the social contract with, and none of it, maybe 1% of it, would go to the person who enabled it.
Yeah. I think it's I don't know how I'd actually feel about this. I think it's impossible to really know how you feel about something that emotionally charged. But I think if I was in a committed relationship with somebody and then I found out that they cheated on me, I don't think I'd ever be angry. I think I'd only ever be upset.
Um, that's that's a good way to funnel your emotions, but consider that it might be very difficult for you. I'm gonna speak to some personal issues and growth, but
Hmm.
I had a really really rough breakup in 2021. I think
Hmm.
might have just been 20. No, it was in 2020. Um, and like at the start of it, I didn't harbor any ill will towards the person, but I felt even though I never acted on anything, I like. But by the time these were the feelings I was having, I was not interacting with this person, and I had no legitimate intention to harm them. It was a lot easier to process those emotions through anger as opposed to through just sadness. Because like even if it's false and even if it's just a comfort belief, it's a lot easier to let yourself believe that it's just my crazy ex, even if it's split or if it's mutual or whatever's going on. It's a coping mechanism, and it's not even necessarily one that I'm gonna fault people for as long as it's internal and you're not like actively lashing out at someone.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. And I think I'm honestly, I think I'm full of shit. I think if I if that actually happened to me, I would probably just be angry, or I'd have some emotional
But
response that
like
I can't.
if I intend to maintain my relationship with someone, unlike that breakup, uh, then yeah, that is usually the route I go, because it's a lot easier to appeal to empathy than to express anger at someone and have them get defensive.
Yeah, I wonder if I'd be angry. I think it would really depend on, like, if they screwed up or something. The thing with that, like, oh man,
You're gonna
I made a
speculate a
mistake.
lot here. It's something you
Yeah,
really only find out when you're in the position.
but I don't know. I think it's interesting the ones that like it was a mistake, dude. That takes at least like 20 to 30 minutes to set up and do. That is a
No, yeah,
long mistake.
cheating. I mean, I've never been cheated on. I would bet a lot that I never will be cheated on because my partner's good. Um, but yeah, for like more minimal like um, disagreements or fights or whatever. Uh, yeah, you if you make it if you make it less about being angry at what they did and more about sad about how it affected you, and I'm not even saying this is something you can like directly control, but you can if you feel angry about something, you can like take a step back and be like, oh, maybe I should take a breather before I continue this. What? I got stuck. I got stuck. Oh, triangle respawns you. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. If you just take a breather and be like, all right, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna wait for these emotions to dissipate and go for these ones instead, you can have more productive conversations.
Yes. Yeah.
Emotions are hard to control, though. It's like
Mm.
there are some emotions, especially like oh shit, I got eliminated. Especially like stuff around the concept of forgiveness, where it's like you can't force yourself to do that. I want to replay that. Let me replay that. So if you're looking to elicit a specific emotion, it's not as simple as feel that emotion. It's not as simple as feel sad and not angry. Sometimes there's a lot of external work you have to do to coax your internal to feel an emotion,
Yeah.
and that's a large section of mental health. That's called third wave mental health. That's mindfulness. That's DBT, dialectic behavioral therapy. There's lots of those techniques. As someone who's not had CBT or DBT, but rather had a counselor as a child who helped me through some shit in not particularly clinical ways. But then I, went and took an abnormal psych class and also some other psych classes. And also, my mom is a clinical psychologist with her own clinic. Yep.
This is funny. That
I'm
would be
so
so weird.
I'm so psyched that I beat
No, that's awesome. That's
Sonic
that's
Unleashed.
that's super cool.
No, yeah. No, mom did her master's thesis on something to do with dyslexia. So while she was working on that, I was constantly getting math problems. Like, hey, do you have dyscalculia? I'm like, for the last time, mom, no, I don't have dyscalculia. And then I'd answer some annoying non-trivial math problem for her to prove that I don't have dyscalculia.
I uh I don't have dyslexia. The only thing that I have that's somewhat close to that is I will sometimes I'll get the order of numbers wrong, which I realize that's a dyslexia thing, but I think that's mostly just me being a silly. I
That's
don't think that's
pretty normal if there's a long
yeah.
string of numbers.
Um the one weird thing is I will mix up some letters and numbers. So and some letters with letters C and S for me. I think 4 and R I'll do,
Huh.
which is interesting. Like I'll mean to write 4 and I'll like be thinking about something else and write an R, I guess because they're
Oh,
just next door in my head.
I need as someone who can't diagnose you, I need greater context to even theorize about
Oh
like
no.
how
This
often
is
this
this
shit
is
happens.
very no, this is like I don't even know. Once every few months it'll funny happen. It is not an issue. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with nearly every disorder, we put them in the DSM as disorders because they cause you stress. If you're quirky, there are very few situations where it's going to be. Uh, though there ought to be very few situations where you're quirky and it's diagnosed as something just because you're quirky. There are situations. Pica, bad for you even if you don't mind it. Don't eat
Yeah.
hair. It will fuck up your digestive system.
And your
Bipolar,
teeth.
you may be very happy during mania, but manic people are very likely to kill themselves. But like for basically every other case, you have to be properly suffering in order to,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm hopeful that if we ever get like
Destroyer.
magic future vision, like fully scan your brain, find out everything, we're gonna get some like, oh, that's interesting. You have 0.1% dyslexia. That's the lowest I've seen that's been detectable.
Um. So about that, that's there's a lot of debate about that because there's lots of stuff where there's debate over whether or not you can even pick it up in a brain scan at all, or whether it exists in that way. As something quantifiable. Because lots of things in the DSM are just sets of like symptoms, and you might have multiple reasons those symptoms are going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
And
just
that's
talking about like,
especially prevalent nowadays with the greater focus psychiatrically and psychologically on autism. Like I was
mhm.
talking yesterday, I don't consider myself autistic. I don't even really use the term on the spectrum. My sibling is autistic and has a diagnosis for it. Um, and people who have siblings who have autism often uh, exhibit some traits of autism. Um, so I can point those out in myself, and there are lots of people in my position who might even use the term on the spectrum, but it really is, you know, I'm comfortable sticking to, well, I'm not disordered, I don't have issues with that, so it's not a problem for me. So why identify in that way? So I usually just use the language autism coded if I'm talking
Mhm.
about, you know, I have massive tolerance for repetition. I am sometimes socially awkward.
Yeah.
I am, however, diagnosed ADHD.
My dad was incredibly insistent that I never ever be diagnosed as ADHD. He was incredibly angry when in college I tried to get extended time on tests along the lines of you'll never get a job if you do this. You know, you're just labeling yourself as
Yeah.
disabled for the rest of your
So,
life.
so there is obviously I don't support your dad there, but there is genuine discourse to be had on that, especially since you know it does make it harder to migrate to Canada, for instance.
What?
Yeah, Canada has ableist immigration policies. Um,
That's it like just straight up like it's written. That's
yeah,
what it's
yeah, and I only learned that after I got the diagnosis too. But then even beyond that, there's like a um, you know, it can set you up for thinking you need to have help on things, and
yeah.
these are things to discuss. They're not necessarily things I think you should take at face value and say, oh, in that case we shouldn't be pursuing diagnoses. Um, but it is a complex subject. To you know, you label someone as having a disorder, and now they're you know less likely to try on certain things, and it's like there's discourse surrounding, you know, how do you refer to the disorder? Do you, uh, are you ADHD? Do you have ADHD? Are you dealing with ADHD?
I
Even
was
language
I
like
was
that is like back to
I was
DBT
slightly
and
I was slightly surprised earlier when you said your sibling has autism because I thought the accepted thing was is autistic.
I haven't paid super close attention to it.
I don't care to be clear. I
Uh,
just think it's neat.
Actually, as far as I understand, the language most folks tell you to use is person first. I you know, if I'm in a really formal setting, I'll pay it more mind, but for the most part, I'll use them interchangeably.
Yeah.
But person with autism, my sibling is a person with autism. If you want to be real
Hmm.
formal about it,
Yeah. I do think it's interesting. I don't know. I have complicated feelings around that. Okay, here I'll say something actually slightly controversial, just because this stream hasn't enough had enough people yelling at you in the comments. Um, there was an interesting story of a deaf couple who wanted to have children, but they specifically wanted to have a deaf child.
Ooh,
Um,
that's don't do that.
so
I get
they
why you would want to
did
do that, but don't do that.
so they did like in vitro fertilization and ensured that they had a deaf child. I
Yeah,
think that's
that's.
child abuse. Like,
I
no
think
ifs,
that's
no,
shitty. I think if
yeah.
you make your child deaf um, after they're born, that's shitty. Hey,
I mean,
thank you for
it
the
was
like.
before
We're a
it was,
little
yeah.
past we finished our challenge, so it's not going to speed up the stream anymore, but I appreciate it regardless. We're kind of in our wind down mode where instead of playing Sonic, we're playing a different racing game with a large blue monster.
This is Sonic. No, he's having issues. This is just normal Sonic. If you see anything else, that's a problem.
But if you want to go check the VOD, we did 100% Sonic Unleashed today, and I'm super proud. So right now we're just playing Monster Jam because it's a shitty little racing game that I also wanted to play, and I felt like in the wake of a racing game that we just played for multiple days on end, it was a nice thing to choose. Yeah, no, I don't think you should be um, genetically engineering your child to have a disability.
Yeah, I don't know. That was that and that's interesting because there's some interesting discussion around that. A university that I went that some friends went to. I of course have never attended college. Um,
We come from the
uh,
same college. Fun fact. That's how
Shut
I met
up!
him.
No, we don't. It's not real. It's a meme. It's fake.
We took a
Um,
juggling class together, and he broke his arm right at the start, and he learned like
Shut
no
up!
fucking juggling.
You're giving out lard. They need to sub to the subscribe bar or
They
whatever
need
it
to
is.
join the OnlyFans to learn this. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. This is private OnlyFans. You're lowering our market share. Brutal. I
Anyway,
don't
I
know.
am big into juggling.
Um, what was I even saying? Whatever.
The
Don't.
IVF deaf couple and a university
Oh
your
yeah.
friends attended.
So there's some interesting talk about how do I put this? There's a slight tendency I've noticed in deaf communities to sort of, and I guess this is true for most disabilities, to kind of there's not a way I can put this that doesn't make me sound like a dick.
I
Um,
think I know what you're gonna say, and yeah, there is a little
it's
bit of a social
pride of your
divide.
yeah, it's pride in your identity. Like, yeah, I'm deaf. But it's not badass that you're deaf. Like, I get it, and it's really cool, and it's very important for people to be able to, be proud of who they are. But sort of, I don't know. It's this kind of insular self-protection thing that I notice sometimes that's a little gross. I don't have a real take, and I don't really have the words to say it, even if I did. It's just a little odd.
Uh, I can tell you, as someone who's probably going to go hard of hearing or deaf in his future, uh, that I've watched my mom struggle a lot, and it's especially this is especially true because there's not quite so much of a deaf culture around here, but like I've just seen her struggle a lot, and she's like on a list for cochlears, and she's doing like a special stem cell treatment coming up because she really has a lot of trouble hearing, and it's deteriorated over my childhood, and it just it's really sad to watch. So I would not wish it on someone, even if there's a cultural identity that comes with it.
Yeah, yeah. Somewhere along there is my point. I have no idea what it is. I think it's
Have you
strange.
seen the
Like,
movie Gattaca?
yeah, absolutely. I love Gattaca.
Yeah, that's the other half of it. We should. It's dangerously close to eugenics to
Yeah,
say I want my child to be exactly like me,
yeah. There
to
is
have this specific disability.
I guess my one thing is there are people out there who, like, if you offered couples, not even like deaf couples, but just, hey, we've noticed your child is going to have X disability. We can fix this in the womb. They would say no. And I think that's kind of weird, and that's not something, I don't know. And this is getting into like kind of gross territory between like, well, what's a disability?
Yeah, no, this is a very rich discussion that Gattaca seeks to take on, and I think does a pretty good job of it. even if there are a lot of viewpoints to criticize in it. It's like, yeah, wouldn't you want to cure all diseases? Well, are you going to cure, quote unquote, cure autism? Uh, but then, yeah, you get to like purely terminal diseases that will just kill you, and you're like, why wouldn't you fix that? And then you get to
Yeah.
like these middle of the road. This is awful to have,
Sorry,
but
I just entered my
it keeps
computer.
popping up in our population like schizophrenia. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, you want to get rid of that, but also there exists a non terminal human experience of schizophrenia, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to quantify what you lose if you cure all schizophrenia. Um, I don't know. Rebecca Watson, who's a skeptic and science creator on YouTube, has an interesting video on it that talks about basically how some of these ethical questions loop in and out of eugenics and a lot of like white supremacist stuff. Which
Yeah.
even if you disregard all the pure white supremacist stuff, it's like it's just really interesting to think about counter logical counter arguments to eugenics about you don't know what you're losing. And I don't necessarily know if I agree with everything she says in that video. I obviously don't agree with white supremacist eugenics, but it was a lot to chew on.
Yeah. I will say Gattaca takes it to the logical extreme, which is congratulations, you have some incredibly minor thing wrong with you. You are now illegible for certain jobs.
Uneligible. Illegible
Yeah,
means
sorry.
unable to be read.
uh, say it one more time for me.
Ineligible.
You are now ineligible for certain jobs because you have this, like, we can find someone who is slightly better than you at it in a quantifiable metric.
All right, that's enough Monster Jam for now. Maybe I'll go back to Sonic and run in circles or something. I'm done with
Yeah.
Monster Jam for now.
Play Ultra Hell!
I'm a little bit interested in like Fury. I want something I don't have to think about though. Is the main thing.
Oh, that's Ultra Hell. It's just a.
No, I have to think about a bullet hell.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Not
like Peglin. I could play Peglin. Well, maybe I'll just call the stream.
you could do
I'm
that.
gonna keep doing this shit tomorrow. I should probably get started on editing some of this. Karnathe, it's been great to have you. This has
Of
been
course.
very
Thank you.
fun.
Sorry for talking about weird, horrible things so much. You're
uh,
gonna have to edit out like 40% of me talking.
I have to edit out so much anyway just to have a video that's even remotely watchable.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's been great having you. It's been a fun stream. We beat Sonic Unleashed. Oh my god, that's
We
crazy.
beat Sonic on Wish.
All right, peace.
Peace.